Welcome to Easy English Talks podcast.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Daily English Talks. My name is Tom, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. This is your daily space to practice, learn, and speak English with me. In today's session, we're going to have a long, relaxing, and very useful conversation. You and I will be speaking together for the next 2 hours in English. It's going to be a calm, friendly, and casual conversation, just like how friends talk in daily life. You don't need to worry about mistakes, accents, or how fast you speak. The only important thing is that you practice, listen, repeat, and enjoy the journey of learning English. So, take a deep breath, get yourself a cup of tea, coffee, or a glass of water, and find a comfortable place to sit. You can even lie down if you like. Remember, this is your time, your space to practice English without any pressure. I'm going to be speaking clearly and slowly so you can understand every word. You can repeat after me whenever you like, or just listen and absorb the words. Sometimes I will ask you questions, and you can answer out loud. Don't worry if nobody's around you. Talking to yourself in English is actually one of the best ways to learn a language. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's begin by introducing ourselves. I'll go first, and then you can follow. My name is Mia. I am an English teacher and a content creator. I love helping people learn and improve their English skills. I also enjoy reading books, watching movies, listening to music, and going for long walks in nature. Now it's your turn. Say your name out loud. Great. Now tell me about yourself. What do you like to do in your free time? Do you like to read, watch TV, cook, or travel? Speak it out loud in English. Don't worry about grammar or pronunciation. Just try to express yourself. For example, you could say, "My name is Alex. I like reading books and watching movies in my free time. I like to cook and listen to music. I also enjoy going for walks in the park." Now it's your turn. You can pause the video if you need more time. Try to say at least 4 sentences about yourself. Excellent. You're doing a great job. Remember, the more you speak, the more confident you will become. Now, let's talk about daily routines. I will tell you about my daily routine, and then you can talk about yours. In the morning, I wake up at 7 o'clock, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and have a glass of warm water. Then, I make breakfast. Usually, I have eggs, toast, and a cup of tea. After breakfast, I get ready for work. I start my work at 9 o'clock. I teach English classes and also work on making videos like this one. In the afternoon, I have lunch around 1 o'clock. I like to eat rice, vegetables, and sometimes chicken. After lunch, I take a short rest and then continue my work. In the evening, I go for a walk or do some light exercise. I have dinner at 8 o'clock, and then I relax by reading a book or watching a movie. I go to bed at 10:30. Now it's your turn. Tell me about your daily routine. What time do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? When do you start your work or studies? What do you do in the evening? Try to say it all in English. If you want, you can repeat my sentences and just change the details to match your life for practice. You can say, "I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, I brush my teeth and take a shower. For breakfast, I eat bread and butter with a cup of coffee. I start my work at 8 o'clock. I have lunch at 12:30 in the afternoon. In the evening, I watch TV or go for a walk. I have dinner at 7:30 and go to bed at 10 o'clock. Try to say it out loud now. Fantastic work. Speaking about your routine is a great way to practice everyday vocabulary and sentence structures. Now, let's practice some simple conversations you might have in daily life. Imagine you meet someone for the first time. How would you start the conversation? You could say, "Hello, how are you?" or "Hi, nice to meet you." Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? Nice to meet you. What is your name? My name is Mia. Where are you from? I am from Canada. How about you? Where do you live? I live in a small town near the mountains. It's a beautiful place with lots of trees and clean air. Now it's your turn. You can answer these questions about yourself out loud. Perfect. Now, let's imagine we are at a cafe, ordering something to eat and drink. I'll be the customer, and you can be the waiter. I will start. Good afternoon. Can I see the menu, please? Now you answer, yes. Here is the menu. I will say, thank you. I would like a cup of coffee and a piece of chocolate cake, please. And you can reply, sure. Would you like anything else? I say, no thank you, that's all. And you say, okay, your order will be ready in a few minutes. Well done. These little role-play conversations help you practice the kind of English you might use every day. You can practice them alone or with a friend. Now, let's try another situation. Imagine you are at a store buying clothes. You might say, excuse me, how much is this shirt? The shopkeeper replies, it's $20. You can say, can I try it on? The shopkeeper says, yes, the fitting room is over there. After trying it on, you can say, it fits well, I'll take it. Then the shopkeeper might say, great, would you like to pay by cash or card? You say, I'll pay by card. Thank you. Let's practice those sentences together. Repeat after me. Excuse me, how much is this shirt? Can I try it on? It fits well, I'll take it. Would you like to pay by cash or card? I'll pay by card. Thank you. Excellent job. Now, let's practice describing things around us. Look around you right now. What do you see? I see a table, a chair, a laptop, and a cup of tea. There's also a window and some books on the shelf. Now you try. Look around your room or wherever you are and say out loud the things you can see. You can say, I see a table, I see a chair, I see a fan, I see a book, I see a bottle of water, I see a bag, I see a TV. Keep going as long as you like. This is a good way to build your vocabulary and practice speaking without needing to make long sentences. Very good. Now, let's practice asking for directions. Imagine you are in a new city and you don't know where the bus station is. You can ask someone, excuse me, can you tell me where the bus station is? The person might reply, sure, go straight, then turn left. It's next to the bank. You can say, thank you very much. Let's practice this together. Repeat after me. Excuse me, can you tell me where the bus station is? Sure, go straight, then turn left. It's next to the bank. Thank you very much. You're welcome. All right, you're doing great so far. Now let's practice making simple sentences using common verbs. I will say a sentence, and you can repeat after me. I eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. I drink tea every morning. I go to work at 9 o'clock. I watch TV in the evening. I read a book before bed. I listen to music when I'm cooking. I like to walk in the park. I cook dinner for my family. I study English every day. I sleep at 10 o'clock. You can also try making your own sentences using these verbs. Eat, drink, go, watch, read, listen, like, cook, study, sleep. For example, I eat rice for lunch. I drink coffee in the evening. I go to the market on Sundays. Now it's your turn. Try to make at least 5 sentences out loud. Wonderful. You're speaking so well. Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep repeating these sentences, and you will get better every day. Now, let's talk about the weather. Talking about the weather is one of the easiest and most common topics in daily conversations. People love to talk about the weather when they meet someone, especially when they don't know what else to talk about. It's a polite and friendly way to start a conversation. So, let's practice some simple sentences about the weather. You can repeat after me. It's a sunny day today. The sky is clear and blue. It's very hot outside. I need a cold drink. It's raining a lot. Don't forget to take your umbrella. It's cloudy and cool. I think it might rain soon. It's very cold today. I am wearing my warm jacket. It's snowing. The streets are covered with snow. Now look outside your window and describe the weather in your area. You can say it's sunny here. It's a little cloudy. It's very hot today. It's raining. It's cool and windy. Whatever the weather is like, describe it in English. Now, let's imagine a conversation about the weather. I'll be MIA and you can be my friend. I'll start. Hello, how are you today? Now you answer, I'm good, thank you. Now I say, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? And you say, yes, it is. The sun is shining and the sky is clear. Now I say, I hope it stays like this all day. You reply, me too. I love sunny weather. Perfect. Now you try to have a short weather conversation by yourself. You can also use words like hot, cold, cloudy, sunny, windy, stormy, foggy, or snowy. Excellent. Now let's practice talking about food. Food is another great topic for conversation. Everyone loves to eat, and talking about favorite foods can be fun. I'll tell you about my favorite foods, and then you can talk about yours. I love pizza. It's one of my favorite foods. I like it with extra cheese, tomatoes, and olives. I also enjoy eating pasta, fried rice, grilled chicken, and fresh salads. For dessert, I love chocolate cake and ice cream. Now, what about you? What are your favorite foods? Say them out loud in English. You can say, I like pizza. I love eating noodles. My favorite food is biryani. I enjoy chocolate cake. I like drinking cold coffee. I eat fresh fruits every morning. Keep saying more sentences about what you like to eat and drink. Now, let's practice ordering food at a restaurant. I'll be the waiter, and you can be the customer. Good evening. Welcome to our restaurant. Can I take your order, please? Now you answer. You can say, yes, I would like a chicken sandwich and a glass of orange juice, please. Then I say, would you like anything else? You can reply, no, thank you. That's all I say. Okay, your order will be ready in a few minutes. See, very simple and easy. You can also try making more sentences like, I would like a cup of coffee. Can I have a glass of water, please? I want a bowl of soup. Please bring me a chicken burger. Could I have some French fries? Repeat these sentences out loud. Fantastic. Now, let's practice talking about hobbies. Hobbies are the activities we like to do in our free time. I'll tell you about mine first. I love reading books. I also enjoy listening to music and watching movies. Sometimes I go for long walks in the park. On weekends, I like to cook new recipes and try different dishes. Now it's your turn. Tell me about your hobbies. What do you like to do in your free time? Say it in English. You can say, I like reading novels. I enjoy playing cricket. I love listening to songs. I go swimming on weekends. I like cooking new dishes. I watch movies in the evening. Keep going and say as many as you can. This is a great way to practice speaking about yourself. Let's have a little practice conversation about hobbies. I'll start. What are your hobbies? You answer. Good, now I say. Oh, that's interesting. How often do you do it? You reply, I do it every weekend. Or, I do it in my free time. Then I say, that sounds fun. I also enjoy reading books and listening to music. Now it's your turn to repeat the whole conversation. Great job. Now, let's practice asking for help. Sometimes when we are in a new place or situation, we need to ask someone for help. Let's practice some polite ways to ask for help. Repeat after me. Excuse me? Can you help me, please? Could you please tell me where the bank is? Can you show me the way to the supermarket? Sorry to trouble you, but I need some help. I'm looking for the train station. Could you help me find it? Thank you very much. Now, imagine you are lost in a shopping mall. You can say, "Excuse me, could you tell me where the exit is?" The person might reply, "Yes, it's on the first floor near the food court." You can say, "Thank you so much." Repeat this conversation out loud. Now, let's practice making small talk. Small talk means light and casual conversations we have with people we meet at a party, in a park, or in a waiting room. These conversations are short and polite. Let's try it. I'll start. "Hi, how are you today?" You answer, "Good now," I say. "It's a lovely day, isn't it?" You reply, "Yes, it is." Then I say, "Are you from around here?" You answer, "Yes, I live nearby," or "No, I'm just visiting." Excellent. Now try having a short, small talk conversation by yourself. All right, now let's practice talking about travel. Traveling is a fun topic that many people enjoy. I'll tell you about my favorite travel destination. I love going to the beach. I enjoy walking on the sand and listening to the sound of the waves. I also like visiting mountains and forests. The fresh air and beautiful views make me feel happy and relaxed. Now it's your turn. Tell me about a place you'd like to visit. Is it the beach, the mountains, a city, or a village? Say it in English. You can say, "I like to visit the beach." "I enjoy going to the mountains." "My favorite city is London." I love traveling to new places. I enjoy road trips with my family. Keep speaking out loud about your favorite travel destinations. Let's have a quick travel conversation. I'll start. "Where do you like to travel?" You answer. Now I say, "Oh, that sounds wonderful. When did you last travel?" You can say, "I traveled last month," or "I haven't traveled recently." Then I say, "I hope you get to travel again soon." Now you repeat the conversation. Very good. Next, let's practice talking about family. Family is an important part of our life, and we often talk about them with others. I'll tell you about my family. I have a small family. There are 4 people in my family: my father, my mother, my younger brother, and me. My father is a doctor. My mother is a teacher. My brother is a student. We love spending time together on weekends. Now it's your turn. Tell me about your family. You can say, "I have a big family. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. My father is a businessman. My mother is a housewife. I have a younger sister. We live together in a house." Keep talking about your family members. Let's practice a family conversation. I'll start. "How many people are there in your family?" You answer. Good. Now I say, "What does your father do?" You reply. Then I say, "Do you have any brothers or sisters?" You answer. Great. Now repeat the conversation one more time. Excellent work so far. Speaking about yourself, your family, hobbies, food, and travel is a great way to improve your fluency. Keep repeating these conversations often. Let's now talk about shopping. Shopping is something we all do regularly, whether we go to the market, supermarket, mall, or shop online. It's also a great topic to practice speaking in English. I'll start by telling you about my shopping habits. I usually go shopping on weekends. I like to buy groceries, clothes, and sometimes books. I often visit the supermarket near my house. It has everything I need. I enjoy looking at different products and comparing prices. Sometimes I shop online when I don't have time to go out. I order clothes, cosmetics, and even groceries from online stores. What about you? Do you like shopping? Say it out loud. You can say, "I love shopping. I go shopping on Sundays. I buy fruits and vegetables from the market. I shop for clothes during the sale. I enjoy shopping for gifts. Let's practice a short conversation about shopping. I'll start. Where do you go shopping? You answer. Now I say, what do you usually buy? You reply. Then I say, do you like online shopping? You answer, yes, I do. Or no, I prefer visiting the market. Well done. Now you can repeat this conversation and change your answers each time for better practice. Now, let's practice asking about prices. When you go shopping, it's important to know how to ask the price of an item in English. Let's practice together. How much is this shirt? What's the price of this bag? How much do these shoes cost? Can you tell me the price of this watch? Is this on sale? Do you have any discounts? Repeat these sentences after me. Now, imagine you're in a market. You want to buy a pair of shoes. You can say, excuse me, how much are these shoes? The shopkeeper might reply, they are $50. You can say, can you give me a discount? This is a good way to practice conversations when shopping. Let's move on to talking about your daily routine again with more detail. Talking about your daily routine is a common topic in conversations, interviews, and in classrooms. I'll tell you about my daily routine first. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and have a cup of tea. Then I take a shower and get ready for the day. I eat my breakfast at 8 a.m. After breakfast, I start my work. I work for a few hours, and then I have my lunch at 1 o'clock p.m. In the evening, I go for a walk in the park. Sometimes I watch a movie or listen to music. I have my dinner at 8 o'clock p.m., and then I relax for a while before going to bed at 10 p.m. Now it's your turn. Tell me about your daily routine in English. You can say, I wake up at 6 a.m., I brush my teeth and take a shower. I eat my breakfast at 7 o'clock. I go to school at 8 o'clock. I have lunch at 1 p.m. I do my homework in the afternoon. I play games in the evening. I watch TV at night. I go to bed at 10 p.m. Keep speaking about your routine. The more you practice, the better you'll get. Let's have a conversation about daily routine. I'll start. What time do you wake up? You answer.
Good. Now I say, what do you do after breakfast? You reply. Then I say, what time do you go to bed? You answer. Excellent! Now you can practice this with yourself or a friend. Next, let's practice talking about health. Health is very important in our lives, and we often talk about it with friends, family, and doctors. Let's start with some simple sentences. I am feeling good today. I have a headache. I have a cold. I am not feeling well. I need to see a doctor. I drink a lot of water to stay healthy. I go for a walk every morning. Repeat these sentences after me. Now, let's imagine you're visiting a doctor. The doctor says, what's the problem? You reply, I have a fever. The doctor asks, how long have you had it? You answer, for 2 days. The doctor says, okay, I'll give you some medicine. Take rest and drink plenty of water. You say, thank you, doctor. Repeat this short conversation. Let's also talk about healthy habits. I'll tell you mine. I drink 8 glasses of water every day. I eat fresh fruits and vegetables. I avoid junk food. I sleep for 8 hours at night. I go for a walk every morning. Now it's your turn. Say your healthy habits in English. You can say, I drink lemon water in the morning. I eat an apple every day. I go jogging in the park. I avoid cold drinks. I sleep early at night. Keep speaking and practicing. Great job. Now, let's practice talking about holidays. Holidays are special days when people relax, travel, or celebrate. I'll talk about my favorite holiday. My favorite holiday is New Year's Day. I love celebrating it with my family and friends. We have a special dinner, and we count down to midnight. We also make New Year's resolutions. It's a fun time to spend with loved ones. What about you? What's your favorite holiday? Say it in English! You can say, my favorite holiday is Christmas. I like celebrating Eid. I enjoy going to the beach on holidays. I visit my grandparents on holidays. I travel to new cities during holidays. Now, let's practice a conversation about holidays. I'll start. What's your favorite holiday? You answer. Now I say, how do you celebrate it? You reply. Then I say, who do you spend it with? You answer, great work. Repeat this conversation several times. All right, now let's talk about feelings and emotions. It's important to express how we feel in English. Let's learn some simple sentences. I am happy today. I feel sad. I am very excited. I am nervous. I am bored. I am tired. I am angry. Repeat these sentences after me. Now, let's practice a conversation. I'll start. How are you feeling today? You answer. Now I say. Why are you happy? You reply. Then I say. That's wonderful. I hope you stay happy. Now, you repeat this conversation with your own answers. Also, let's practice talking about likes and dislikes. I like ice cream. I don't like bitter vegetables. I love listening to music. I don't enjoy scary movies. I like going for long walks. I don't like getting up early. Now it's your turn. Say what you like and don't like in English. You can say, I like chocolate. I don't like spicy food. I love playing football. I dislike noisy places. I enjoy swimming. I hate waking up early. Keep speaking out loud! Now, let's talk about time. Asking and telling the time is a very useful skill. Let's practice some examples. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. It's 7:30. It's 9:15. It's 10 minutes to 8. Repeat these sentences after me. Now, imagine someone asks you, what time is it? You can answer. It's 3 o'clock, or whatever the current time is. Keep practicing. Now, let's talk about directions and locations. This is a very useful topic because when you visit a new place or city, you often need to ask for directions. It's also a good way to practice giving and receiving instructions. Let's start with some simple sentences you can use to ask for directions. Repeat after me. Excuse me, how can I get to the train station? Could you please tell me the way to the hospital? Where is the nearest ATM? Is there a supermarket nearby? How far is the bus stop from here? Now, let's practice some sentences you can use to give directions. Go straight. Turn left. Turn right! It's near the park. It's next to the bank. It's opposite the school. It's behind the restaurant. It's in front of the cinema. Repeat these sentences after me. Now, imagine someone asks you, excuse me, where's the library? You can answer, go straight and turn left. The library is next to the park. Or you could say, it's opposite the bank. Practice different ways of giving directions. You can also practice this by imagining different places like the hospital, supermarket, cinema, or train station, and describe how to reach them. Next, let's practice talking about seasons. There are 4 main seasons in most countries: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Each season has its own weather, activities, and clothes. Let's practice some simple sentences about seasons. I like spring because the flowers bloom. Summer is very hot in my city. I enjoy eating ice cream in summer. In autumn, the leaves fall from the trees. Winter is very cold. I wear warm clothes in winter. Repeat these sentences after me. Now, let's talk about your favorite season. You can say, my favorite season is spring. I love winter. I enjoy swimming in summer. I don't like autumn because it's windy. Now, let's practice a short conversation. I'll start. Which season do you like the most? You answer. Now I say, why do you like it? You reply. Then I say, what activities do you do in that season? You answer. Excellent! Now repeat this conversation several times. Let's move on to practicing talking about jobs and professions. This is a common conversation topic when meeting new people. I'll tell you about different jobs first. A doctor treats sick people. A teacher teaches students. A driver drives vehicles. A farmer grows crops. A businessman runs a business. A police officer keeps the city safe. A chef cooks food. An engineer builds houses and bridges. Repeat these sentences after me. Now, let's talk about what you want to be. You can say, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a pilot. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a singer. Now, let's practice a conversation. I'll start. What do you do? You answer. Now I say, do you like your job? You reply. Then I say, what do you like the most about your job? You answer. Now, you can repeat this conversation and try changing the jobs each time for more practice. Now, let's practice talking about the days of the week. This is very easy but useful in daily conversations. Repeat after me. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, let's use them in sentences. Today is Monday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. I have a meeting on Wednesday. I go to the park on Thursday. Friday is the last working day. I watch movies on Saturday. Sunday is a holiday.
Now, let's practice a conversation. I'll start. What day is it today? You answer. Now I say, what do you do on weekends? You reply. Then I say, which is your favorite day of the week? You answer. You answer. Well done. Next, let's talk about months of the year. There are 12 months in a year. Let's repeat them together. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now let's use them in sentences. My birthday is in January. I like the weather in April. June is the start of summer. We have holidays in August. December is very cold. Repeat these sentences after me. Let's practice a conversation about months. I'll start. When is your birthday? You answer. Now I say, which month do you like the most? You reply. Then I say, why do you like it? You answer, excellent. Now repeat this conversation. Let's practice using colors in conversation. Colors are easy to learn and very common in daily conversations. Let's name some colors. Red, blue, yellow, green, black, white, pink, orange, brown, purple. Now, let's use them in sentences. My favorite color is blue. I like wearing black clothes. This flower is red. The sky is clear and blue. Bananas are yellow. Grass is green. Now, let's have a conversation about colors. I'll start. What's your favorite color? You answer. Now I say, why do you like it? You reply, great. Keep practicing with different answers. Now, let's talk about festivals. Festivals are special events people celebrate with family and friends. I'll name a few popular festivals: Christmas, Eid, Diwali, New Year, Halloween. Now, let's use them in sentences. I celebrate Christmas with my family. I visit my relatives on Eid. We decorate our house on Diwali. I make a New Year's resolution every year. I wear a costume on Halloween. Now, let's practice a conversation. I'll start. Which festival do you like the most? You answer. Now I say, how do you celebrate it? You reply, great job. Let's move on to practicing talking about transportation. There are different ways to travel. Let's name some: car, bus, train, bicycle, airplane, boat, motorcycle. Now, let's use them in sentences. I go to school by bus. I travel to other cities by train. I like riding a bicycle. I have never traveled by airplane. I enjoy boat rides. Now, let's have a conversation. I'll start. How do you go to work or school? You answer, now I say, have you ever traveled by plane? You reply, excellent. Keep practicing. Finally, let's talk about sports. Sports are a great conversation topic. Let's name some popular sports: cricket, football, basketball, tennis, badminton, swimming, running. Now let's use them in sentences. I love playing cricket. My favorite sport is football. I watch basketball matches on TV. I play tennis with my friend. I go swimming every Sunday. I enjoy running in the park. Now, let's have a conversation. I'll start. Which sport do you like the most? You answer. Now I say, do you play it or just watch it? You reply. Then I say, who is your favorite player? You answer, excellent. Let's also practice talking about clothing. Let's name some clothes: shirt, trousers, jeans, skirt, t-shirt, jacket, sweater, dress. Now, let's use them in sentences. I am wearing a blue shirt. She is wearing a red dress. I bought a new jacket. It's cold, so I am wearing a sweater. He likes wearing jeans. Now, let's practice a conversation. I'll start. What are you wearing today? You answer. Now I say, what's your favorite item of clothing? You reply, good work. You have done an amazing job practicing for so long. This is the end of our long conversation practice. Remember to practice speaking English every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. You are doing great. Thank you for joining me today. Goodbye, and see you in the next lesson. Story, welcome, my friends. What if I told you that the man who created Hyundai, one of the biggest car companies in the world, once worked in muddy fields with no shoes? He never went to college and was so poor he couldn't afford a train ticket. So he ran 120 kilometers on foot just to chase a dream. This is not a motivational speech. This is not fiction. This is real. Today, you will hear the story of a boy who had nothing and built everything. A boy who had no money, no education, no power, but had one thing that changed his life: a decision to never stop trying. But why should you listen to this story? Because this is not just about business. This story will teach you how to fight when life hits you hard, how to believe when nobody believes in you, how to stand alone when the world shuts the door. And yes, this story will also improve your English. How? Because you are not just watching English, you are feeling it. You are living inside a story. That's the secret to fluency. Not grammar books, not boring vocabulary lists, but real stories with real emotion told in easy, clear, and powerful English. So listen closely, because this video might not just teach you English, it might change your life. Now, let's begin the story of the man who started it all. Part 1. The boy who had nothing. Let's go back. The year is 1915. We're in a small, poor village in North Korea. Before Korea was divided, a boy named Chung Ju-yung is born into a family of farmers. They grow rice. They live in a straw roof house. They eat simple food, sometimes not enough. He is the eldest son in the family. That means he must help in the field every day. No shoes, no toys, no time to dream. From age 7, he carries water, cuts grass for cows, and helps plant rice. His father is strict and believes in one rule: work hard, don't dream. A farmer's son must become a farmer. But little Chung was different. Even as a child, he wanted more. He would stare at the mountains and think, "Is this all there is to life?" When he was around 14 years old, he had a dream. He wanted to study, go to school, learn math, become a teacher. So one day, he secretly left home and walked miles to enroll in a school. But his father found out and, in anger, dragged him back to the farm. "Stop dreaming," his father said. "Dreams don't feed hungry mouths." This was the first time life told him, "Stay small." But something inside Chung refused. A few years later, he tried again. He left home with only a little money and a big dream. This time, he wanted to go to the city, Seoul, but he didn't have enough for a train ticket. So what did he do? He ran. Yes, 120 kilometers on foot. No phone, no food, just the belief that there's more beyond those rice fields. When he reached Seoul, he found a job at a construction site. He worked with bricks and cement from sunrise to sunset. His hands bled, his back hurt, but every night he told himself, "One day I will not just build houses. I will build something much, much bigger." After months of hard work, he saved enough money to start something small. With a partner, he opened a tiny rice shop. It was his first taste of business. But one day, his partner stole all the money and disappeared. He lost everything. Many people would have gone back to the village, but not Chung. He wiped his tears and said, "Money can be taken, but not my fire, not my vision." He started over from zero again. Over the next few years, he worked any job he could find, carrying bricks, delivering salt, fixing bicycles, cleaning shoes. He watched, he listened. He learned it not from books, but from life. Slowly, he understood how business works, how people think, how to earn respect, not just money. Finally, in the 1940s, Chung opened a small construction business. He built roads and repaired bridges. Even the government started noticing his work. And then, World War II ended. Korea was in pieces broken, divided, but Chung saw opportunity where others saw ruins. He saw future roads, Part 2, Building from Ashes, the birth of Hyundai. We ended Part 1 with Chung Ju-yung opening a small construction business. But let's not move too fast, because the world he was stepping into, Korea, in the 1940s, was not a world full of hope. It was a country that had just been freed from Japanese control after decades of occupation. But freedom didn't feel like freedom. The country was broken, poor, ruined. No proper roads, no clean water, no big companies, no system. Korea was like a body with a heartbeat, but no bones. But where others saw nothing, Chung Ju-yung saw a possibility. He believed, if the country is broken, then we must rebuild it. We, the people, must become the builders. Step 1. In 1946, when he was around 31 years old, he officially started his company. He named it Hyundai, which means modern in Korean. Think about that. A man who grew up in the rice fields barefoot without education started a company called Modern. He didn't just want to build roads, he wanted to build the future. At first, Hyundai was just a small construction firm. They built roads, bridges, repaired buildings, mostly small jobs. But his mindset was always different. Most people would say, "We're too small to take big projects." But Chung said, "We are small because we never take big projects." He started bidding for bigger jobs. He took risks. He hired people smarter than him. And he watched everything like a hawk. He didn't sit in an office. He visited construction sites himself. He talked to workers. He checked every stone, every brick. He believed if you build something, it must be strong enough to carry the future. The Korean War. In 1950, the Korean War began. North versus South. Brother against brother. Cities burned. Thousands died. For many businesses, it was the end. But for Chung Ju-yung, it was the beginning of something massive. He didn't run. He didn't shut down Hyundai. He looked at the destruction and thought, the country will need roads again. The country will need buildings again, and I will be the one to build them. He started working with the South Korean government, helping to rebuild key infrastructure. His workers were not just laborers, they were rebuilding their own homeland. This made Hyundai stronger not just as a company, but as a name. People began to trust the name Hyundai because when everyone was afraid, Hyundai kept moving. One of the most famous and powerful moments in Chung's life came in the 1960s. The South Korean government gave him a challenge. We need a bridge built over the Han River. Can you do it? Now, here's the truth. Hyundai had never built a bridge before. Other companies laughed. They said, he doesn't even have an engineering degree. He's not a bridge builder. He's just a construction guy. But Chung said, if we keep saying we can't, we'll never learn how to do it. So he took the project. He gathered a team, hired engineers, studied every blueprint, visited bridges around the world, and then he started building. Every day he stood by the river, watching, planning, correcting, and after only 4 months, the Han River Bridge was completed. The same people who laughed at him now stood in silence, because a rice farmer's son had just built one of Korea's most important bridges. This wasn't just a bridge. This was a symbol, a message to the world. South Korea is rising, and Hyundai is helping it rise. After the bridge, Hyundai's reputation exploded. The government began trusting him more. He was given highways to build dams, ports, shipyards, but Chung wasn't satisfied, because deep down, he still remembered being a poor boy with no shoes. He wanted more than just money. He wanted transformation. He said, we cannot just copy the world, we must create. So he made a decision that shocked everyone. Hyundai will build ships. People laughed again. South Korea has no experience in shipbuilding. We don't even have the technology. But Chung smiled and said, then we'll learn. We'll start. We'll try. He met with British shipbuilders and convinced them to partner. He studied shipyards. He bought land in Ulsan, South Korea. Fishing village, and said, this place will become the heart of Korea's industrial future. People thought he was mad. But by 1974, Hyundai had launched its first major ship and became one of the top shipbuilders in the world. From mud to metal, from rice fields to global factories. Chung was not building just a company anymore. He was building a dream factory. By the end of the 1970s, Chung had built roads, bridges, buildings, ports, ships. But there was still one thing missing: cars. South Korea imported all its cars from Japan and the West. But Chung asked a dangerous question. Why can't Korea make its own car? No one had an answer, so he did it himself. And that's where the next part of this story begins. Part 3. The man who dared to build a car. Chung Ju-yung, the boy who once walked 120 kilometers barefoot, had now built Korea's first highways, shipyards, and ports. He was admired, trusted, respected, but he still wasn't satisfied, because deep down, he remembered something. He remembered how Korea used to import cars from Japan, America, and Europe, and how people believed that Koreans could never build a car. That making cars was only for rich countries with powerful machines and high technology. But Chung, as always, believed in something else. He believed in his people. He said, "We've built roads. Now we must build the wheels that will run on them. His team was shocked. Cars, we don't have the knowledge. We don't have engineers. We don't have the tools. But Chung simply replied, then we will learn. We will build the tools. We will train the engineers. That's what Hyundai means, modern. And this was the future. This was not a business decision. This was a national decision. He wanted to build a car for Korea. And that's where the story truly begins. In the early 1970s, Chung knew that building a car required something he didn't yet have: experience. So what did he do? He flew to Britain. He met with George Turnbull, a top engineer who had worked at British Leyland, a respected British car manufacturer. Turnbull was surprised. Why would a Korean businessman with no car company want to hire him? But Chung didn't beg. He didn't flatter. He simply showed his vision. He said, I don't want to copy foreign cars. I want to build something new. I want your help. George Turnbull was impressed. He agreed, and he wasn't alone. Chung hired 5 top British car engineers, all experts in engines, transmissions, design, and safety. He brought them to Korea. These engineers arrived in a country that still had dirt roads in many places. They were surprised. They thought, how will we build a car here? But Chung gave them one thing that changed everything. Belief, he said. You've built cars before, but now you are building history. They didn't have a fancy lab. They didn't have high-end machines. They didn't have luxury offices. What they had was one warehouse and a leader who refused to give up. It took years of work. The team faced hundreds of failures. Engines didn't fit. Parts broke during testing. The body design was too heavy. No company wanted to give them steel. But every time something failed, Chung didn't scream or walk away. He asked one question. What did we learn? He believed failure is not the opposite of success. It is the path to success. In 1975, after many long nights, arguments, experiments, and moments of despair, it happened. The Hyundai Pony was born. It was Korea's first national car, a small, affordable, simple vehicle, not beautiful like a Mercedes, not fast like a Ferrari, but proudly Korean. When the first Hyundai Pony was unveiled in Seoul, the crowd went silent, and then they clapped, cheered, cried. We can do it. We are not small anymore. But creating the Pony was just the beginning. The real battle began when Hyundai tried to sell cars outside Korea. The big global car companies like Toyota, Ford, GM, Honda laughed. They said, Korean cars, please, they're toys. But Chung had heard this before. When he built bridges, they laughed. When he built ships, they laughed. Now he was building cars, and again they laughed. But he had a weapon they didn't expect: courage, discipline, and endless improvement. He started small, and first Hyundai sold cars to countries like Ecuador, Egypt, and Chile. Then slowly he entered Canada. And in 1986, he made a bold move. Hyundai entered the U.S. market. They introduced a model called the Hyundai Excel. It was not fancy, but it was affordable, fuel efficient, easy to drive. People in America were curious, and guess what? In the very first year, Hyundai sold over 168,000 cars in the U.S. That was a record. The same companies that laughed now began to worry. But success was not permanent. As Hyundai sold more cars, something started to go wrong. Many cars had problems with engines, air conditioning, parts. Customers started complaining. American newspapers began calling Hyundai a low-quality brand. Sales dropped, respect vanished. And once again, Chung Ju-yung stood on the edge of disaster. His team panicked. They said, "Let's reduce production. Let's stop exporting." But Chung said no. He said, "If we are not willing to improve, we do not deserve success." So he made a huge decision. Hyundai would rebuild everything. New quality checks, better materials, stronger testing. He said, "Let's not compete on price. Let's compete on pride." And year after year, Hyundai improved. They didn't just make cars, they made better cars. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, Hyundai had transformed. The world slowly began to see Hyundai not as cheap, but as reliable, smart, and well-built. The same company that once couldn't build a single tire was now winning international car awards, JD Power Quality Awards, design awards, safety recognitions. In America, people began saying, Hyundai is not just a good car for the money. It's a good car, period. After the rise of Hyundai cars in the global market, something strange began to happen in South Korea. People no longer just saw Hyundai as a company, they saw it as hope. Because whenever the country faced a problem, Hyundai stepped in. Whenever something seemed too big, too impossible, too expensive, there was one man who always said, "We will do it." That man was Chung Ju-yung. But this new phase of life was not about small ideas anymore. It was about rebuilding a country's future, one massive dream at a time.